Hi, welcome to Stockin' Knit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 106.
Cool.
Yes, the last one before we do an early one for Thanksgiving.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. November has flown by, in my humble opinion.
Too fast.
Yes, I can't believe it's going to be December pretty soon.
I know.
Time it flies. So my week has been kind of exciting. Last night I went up to the Minnesoders Knitters Guilders, and they have monthly meetings, and it's the first time I've decided to go up because Mr. Franklin Habit was speaking. And he did a really good job. I don't know how often he does the speech, but like he was covering practical guides. So there's, now I'm going to forget the name brand of it. It was like Weldon's Practical Knitting Guide, Volume 1, or Weldon's Bent Iron Work, Volume 1. And it was like what not to wear, but with like craftiness stuff,
wow.
Right? So it was like, oh yeah, that crinkled lampshade, that was recommended to be, this is the only pattern in the whole book that was recommended to be made out of non-flammable materials, or, and there's all kinds of other lampshades, and it was just funny. It was, it's poking fun at antiquated, decorum and handicrafts, and he has a sharp wit. And it has a good sense of humor. So that was fun. They did a little bit of newbie shaming, I'm not going to lie. Not to discourage you from attending if you want to go to the Minnesoder Knitters Guild. But they have you introduce yourself at the beginning. And I was just kind of hiding in the corner. And of course, Corey and those around me wouldn't let me get away with that. So I stand up and I just introduce myself as I do on the podcast, right? And we go about our way, and they're doing the minutes and whatever. And at the end, a gal that watches her stood up and was like, "And friends don't let other friends not tell the truth." Megan left out a little bit about herself and said very, very kind words about our podcast.
Oh, nice.
And had me stand up and showed off her one seamless Paloma that she was knitting on. So that it was nice, but I was trying to be incognito and got newbie shamed.
Yes.
What did they in Rocky Horror Picture Show, they make you wear like Virgin on your chest and they throw things at you, and it wasn't that bad. But the Minnesota Textile Center is very cool.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's a sight to be seen. It's cool. So yeah, I wanna I put my name in for door prizes because there was some cool gradient yarn and a brown dog bags, and there was a funny story behind that too. They heard about Renee on another podcast.
Oh, okay.
But she's a Minnesotan that lives near them, Chanhassen. So they made these as like a fundraiser, and I won one. It's a knit swatch pen. And I don't really wear pendants, but it's got this swatch on it and some knitting stick needles. It's really cute. But I will be making it into an ornament. Or maybe I could pin it on my stocking.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe if I put this on my stocking, Santa will bring me yarn. Like I need yarn. Like I need any yarn. But that was cool. They were like, "And just run it." And I was like, "What? I won something?"
So how many people were there?
Quite a few. Like, I don't know if that was a large turnout or a small turnout for them, but like they have you go grab your own chair, and the room was pretty much filled. Stephen B was there and his mom. Yeah. Cool. There were lots of familiar faces. Generally, I only see them at Yarn Over.
Right.
So Shelly was there. They talked about Yarn Over.
Cool.
Get your dues in.
Yes.
So that you can register for Yarn Over before
my dues
the masses.
are not due yet.
Mine are.
Okay.
I must have paid for a certain number of years, and now they're up.
Okay.
I got an email notification.
Well, I don't know if I did 2 years in advance or if I just think that I pay in December. Like, I think that they're due in December for me.
Okay. No, mine are due in December as well, but I got a reminder email.
I didn't get a reminder. I better go log in.
Better check it out. Check it out, that Minnesoder's Knitters Guild. God, I can't believe I said that. Minnesoters. What else? I cut my hair.
You haven't noticed? I cut my hairs too.
You did? Did you get 2 inches off?
I don't know. It might be.
I got 2 inches off. It was a big, okay, let's just make it what the shortest layer is. So this is what the shortest layer is, and now it's all a semi-contiguous length. I see. My back grows a lot faster than the front. Like, these front layers, I've been trying to catch up to the back for a long time.
You get a natural mullet?
I do. It might just be the atmosphere here in Minnesota. We grow mullets naturally, yeah. Party in the back, business in front. My husband, the tangent, pound sign, tangent. We, my sister had a mullet growing up. He joked that for her to be the maid of honor in her wedding, that he had to see the pictures.
Oh.
Photographic proof of the mullet.
I'm pretty sure I had one too. The Carol Brady.
Okay.
I
never had one.
Okay.
I just don't think I have.
It was like a mop on top and then long in the back, and it was cut bowl. I don't know. It was awful.
You, my so-called life fans might appreciate this. I had a permed sombrero, kind of a la Brian Krakow. It literally looked like a sombrero, kind of like Brian Krakow in My So-Called Life, but he had it much after I did, so I think he was impersonating me and not the other way around. Like, that show came out after I no longer had a permed sombrero. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have thick hair, so I don't think a mullet is very fitting on me. Like, once you take that bulk out, the back would be like, I would have a rat tail in the back, basically. There would be no mullet. Just be like, that's a really glorious rat tail you've got back there. Anyway, is there anything you would like to share about this week?
My family had some sad news. My cat had some complications over the weekend, and we had to make that tough decision, and so we are down to one cat, at least for another few months while we grieve. And yeah, so not much I want to say. It seemed very fast to us because she wasn't herself, and we took her in, and then 24 hours later they were telling us the ultrasound said this, and she has less than blah % chance of surviving a surgery, blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, and now we don't have a cat. You know, it just felt very quick. They said that she had probably been masking her illness for a while. They didn't get specific, but you know, it just sounded like she was slowly deteriorating, and short of us like weighing her once a week, there probably wasn't anything that we could have noticed, especially given her behavior was normal right up until this weekend. And she was kind of an aloof cat to start, you know, and and all her behavior changes were semi-positive. Like, she was being nicer to the kids, but again, that wasn't like that recent. And it was also, you know, we just thought she was mellowing in her old age. And again, the vet didn't say that was a symptom at all. You know, the behavior changes that we were noticing that brought us to bring her in were significant, but leading up to this weekend, there was nothing that we saw. And again, they said everything in her blood work was normal, so weight loss was the only thing that would have tipped us off. But she was already just a 7-pound cat to begin with. Yeah. So she wasn't like, oh, she's chunky and now she's lean. She's like, no, she's lean and she's leaner. Yeah. And since she is a long-haired fluff ball, it's really hard to see as well.
Well, hopefully she didn't suffer.
No, they didn't. They said that she hadn't had any acute pain. You know, when they did all their exams and their stuff, she wasn't yowling and yelping in pain, so
Yeah.
she didn't have pain. It was just that they said since she wasn't eating anymore, and they had observed her very closely while she was in the hospital, she wasn't eating anymore, and she uh, um, yeah. So
Yeah.
there was
That can, in and of itself, can be painful to not be able to eat or to just, kind of.
yeah. So she was yeah. They didn't. They said if we did nothing, it was gonna be over in next to no time at all. And if we did something, the percent of her surviving was so low,
Yeah.
and it would be a really hard recovery for her. So yeah, just
Yeah. Well, we can.
it was hard to do, but
Yeah, we can have a moment of silence as a gift. Good cat.
yeah. We had her for 12 years,
Yeah.
longer than my marriage, older than my children.
Yeah. Your first kid,
Yes.
basically. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
And
what Max and Jazz are as well. They were kind of our like, hey, let's see what you're like as a parent
Yeah.
before we have kids.
Let's give this pet thing a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like I said, yeah, we're gonna take some time to grieve, but we do feel like pets are cats are companion animals, and we feel like they need another cat in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least the one that we have seems like she's missing her friend already.
Yep.
So we'll probably get another cat. We're just gonna have some time to grieve.
Yep.
And you need to talk now.
Okay. We have 2 giveaways currently going on. We've got the Hallelujah, or the Hallelujah. I can say it right. I can say it right. Which is a very generous giveaway through the Mustache Yarns, and it's a kit for a pattern by Melski. And to enter that one, you have to say what you do to get through the winter blues. And if you don't get through the winter blues, then just you could do a downtime. For me, generally, when there's lack of sunlight, I struggle with, I'm just not as happy as I normally am. Sunlight helps me feel happy. And so I'd say I go for a good run and get nice and cold, because that's what it is here when I get the winter blues, is get nice and cold, take a hot shower, drink something warm, and that generally kind of pups up my spirit. The other giveaway we're currently doing is for the lovely book Journey by Shannon Cook and Jane Richmond that we reviewed last episode. If you were interested in looking at that, we enjoyed a lot of the patterns, most of the patterns, if not all of the patterns in it. And it's a very pretty book. And those are both, I believe the yarn one is today the 20th, or is tomorrow the 20th?
Today's the 20th.
Okay, so the yarn today was the last day, so that to get in on that pre-order, if you were hesitating, I hope that I am mentally sending you vibes now that you should no longer hesitate. You should jump in, because there's a lot of entries on that, and only one person will win. So there's that, and we'll announce that next week, and then it's the following week on the Journey, I believe. I think I didn't double up on us.
Okay, good. We've been trying to space out the drawings so we don't have a ton of stuff at the beginning.
Yep. We currently have 2 KLs currently going on. Currently. I'm saying currently a lot.
It's the drinking game.
Yep, currently. And the one is the self-striping, which I just saw that there are a few people that are up to 11, which I'm super uber proud. There might be some sort of special drawing for people who have the whole 12 months of self-striping. Just saying.
I don't qualify.
Yeah. I'm still on October, so I'm getting there. My seamless Salomas that were out of self-striping were helped. That went zoom. But yeah, there's that, the self-striping one, and then our I Want Candy, which I have an FO for this week, and I'm loving all the FOs out there for the hat and the cap. Yes.
I saw that the hat must be quicker because I was beating you to the punch on it this week. A lot of the FOs were hats.
Yes, yeah, and that's fun. It's just fun because every once in a while I'll see a picture either out in social media or in the threads, and I'll be like, hey, that's not literally the cowl that I knit, but it's the same pattern out of the same yarn. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's fun. It's like, hey, even though that's not physically the same object, you just recreated the same object that I created. Like, I don't know what is special or like clicks in place for me with that, but it's just cool. It's like if we sat there and said, okay, place the red block in the second like we're constructing something possibly thousands of miles apart, but it's going to end up looking the same in the end. Not exactly the same, but very similar.
Yep.
Like a game of or battleship or something. I can't think of the right term.
And I've decided to candy along with a future Megan pattern instead.
A future Megan. Speaking of organically, Jeanette contacted me, and I think last week I was talking about how I'd gotten yarn support, but I didn't specifically call out. She dyed this up and donated it to for yarn support for the design, and I wore it last night. Like, I had my my pullover with the Noro stripes. What is that? Driftwood? Yeah. On, and that keeps me pretty warm. And so then I just put the hat on, and a lot of people were commenting on how pretty. Where can I get it? Who is it from? So it's Sun Valley Fiber, and she's going to have a pre-order up on Saturday morning. Okay. So if you're interested in getting this on her BFL base, which is a really nice base, she and George have very generously are going to donate, I can't remember the dollar per skein, so I'm not going to make up a number, but money towards the charity National Women's Health Network from the proceeds of the sales. So that is exciting. And again, I don't know, maybe next week? Closer to when I release the pattern, we'll dive into the story again for new listeners that might not have heard it, or maybe you'll hear something new. You learned that she had a mullet this week. Or she had one at one time. Not a current mullet. So there's that. And then we were going to jump into, we haven't done it in a while, Knitstalgia. Yeah. Which I'm saying correctly. What was my alternative title? Oh, I don't remember. It's not Knitstalgia. Well, I'm just glad that I'm remembering the right term. So that's where we go back in time and we looked at our Ravelry projects and reflect upon whether or not we've used it, if we liked it, if the yarn's worn well, and it's nostalgia about your knits. Which is made possible by documenting your projects in Ravelry, by the way. Yes. So in November/October-ish, we've knit, that's a last year FO, right?
Yep, I believe so. This is from Jessie Doddington. It's the Eiffel Tower, Dinner at the Eiffel Tower shawl. I test knit it, and I was very bad at finishing it before she released it. But when I finally got it done, it was one of the first in lace weight. It's in the Dream in Color Baby. I forget, it's fuchsia something colorway. And it's held up really well. I brought it into work when our weather first turned because our building was freezing. And just to lend out to different people. So we had a few people comment on it, and then recently I had a male coworker offer to buy it because he thinks his wife would really love it.
Ooh, fun.
So I thought I would Knitstalgia that and then let it go.
Pass it on out into the world.
Yes. Yep. Probably just charge him what the yarn cost me. It was fun to knit. And I enjoyed it.
And you've gotten some use out of it.
And I did. I got some use out of it.
And others have gotten some use out of it.
Yeah, and now it'll be enjoyed by his lovely wife. So, yeah, I just figure whatever the yarn cost me, or maybe whatever this yarn would cost me to replace.
Yeah, Ravelry if you entered your stash when
I
you bought
don't enter the cost of my stash when I enter.
I figured that it's kind of like, not estate planning, but you know.
Oh,
it's kind of like, hubby, if you can get into my Ravelry account.
This is how much everything's worth.
Yes. And I'm not
just let it go to Goodwill or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people that tells my husband that I'm buying cashmere on an acrylic budget. Like, he understands the value of my stash. So hopefully he wouldn't just, like, offload it. But my Knitstalgia I'm currently wearing. This is the Olive by, it's an Isiger pattern. I can't remember the first name of Isiger. It was the first fingering weight jumper that I've ever knit, sweater that I ever knit. It took me a month and a half in 2010. So this is a 3-year-old sweater. And I was commenting to Amy, I hadn't quite figured out how to bind off loosely. So the edges are a little taut. But other than that, it's held up really well. This is out of Cascade Heritage, their sock yarn that's got nylon in it. And I think I have made some garments out of 100% superwash merino. But I think I prefer the ones with nylon, actually. They just the feel of it, and then also the wear. Like, I don't have any pills or anything. And I really like it. It's a really blousy knit, lots of positive ease. I'm not exactly the same shape as I was in 2010, and it's still, because it's got the positive ease still.
Yes, tons of positive ease.
Yes, tons.
You could wear that while pregnant. It's so big.
I believe I asked you if I looked pregnant while I was wearing it in my FO thing, and you were like, "Oh no, you look fine." And I was like, "Well, I am," because it was right before we told people that we were pregnant with our third. November. He was in June of 2011. Yeah. Sounds about right. So there's that, and I really enjoy it and still wear it, although it has kind of gotten underneath. I need to do some closet reorg. Like, I need to take a before picture and, like, document it for posterity, like my closet before and after, and get motivated to do it. But it's gotten buried recently, and this has been my work, like, shawl, but not really. This is my fancy Delancey out of Pashmina. I don't know. I've had mixed experiences with Pashmina. I don't know if they changed mills. I don't know if it's strictly the gauge, but this is on 8s, which is a very loose gauge for the cashmere, cashmere silk, merino cashmere silk, MCS. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but it is just pillrific. I would sit at work in meetings, and I will pick the pills off of the back. It's just pilly, and I really enjoy it. I think if I had it to do over again, I would probably make the buttonholes a little closer together, because I feel like it gapes a lot. I mean, it's not like it has a ton of negative ease, but the buttons between them, because there's this vertical line right here, you can really see where it's being pulled. Oh, yeah. So if it's closer together,
or not put that vertical line in there,
or not put button. I don't know. You could have it be a free flowing open one, or you could have it have a different type of enclosure, I guess. I don't know. It's just so pilly, and I love it to death, but it's just everywhere. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's a very fun knit. There's been a recent KAL, I believe, that I've seen on social media of folks doing it. And it's stripey and fun and does fun things, but yeah. So that is my tale of woe. Make sure that you don't knit, because I knit my windswept on it, and it's washed up and been perfect. And it was like this, it came out of being washed and dried, like, really pilly like this when I first washed it. So it's not like this is just with wear. So it sits on the back of my chair at work, and I put it on when I get cold. And I go, I guess people at work can judge me for having pilly clothing that I knit myself, I guess. And it recently came home with me because I was cold. But that is my Knitstalgia, and that was one of the first sweaters I knit monogamously on air.
Mm.
Do that back in 2011.
I remember when this one was a block of knitting. Oh,
Yep.
Painful.
Yes.
Week after week, because you said it took a month and a half.
Mhm.
So week after week after week of.
I believe I told you I would never again knit a fingering weight garment when when I was on the sleeves.
Yes. And I've heard that since then.
Yes.
I
I say a lot of
again.
things. Never say never.
Yeah, never.
Never say never. Sorry, my daughter listens to that stuff. Justin Bieber being that stuff.
My daughter does not. It's the age thing.
Must be a second grader thing. Although her mom does like music a lot. So that could be an influence. Do you have any FOs? Let's just dive right into it.
I have socks for my son.
Socks for son.
See, it's not going to be an easy knit anymore. This is not a quick idea anymore.
Oh, I'll just knit Justin socks.
Yeah,
I might as well knit myself some.
Exactly.
Well, so now you know the yardage.
Yeah, but see, the thing of it is though, after this, he might get one more, and then I'm waiting until his feet stop growing. I just really can't.
Will Lucy wear socks like that?
Then again, maybe when he gets to mine, there we go. When he is, when I can inherit them when he outgrows them, maybe he'll get a bunch.
Couple months for you, couple of months rest of my life for me.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe then he'll get some, but yeah, it was surprising how long this took, and I enjoyed it. It was just my bust knitting, and it didn't bother me. But it was like I spent all day knitting on these at the zoo, and I was still like up to here or whatever, and I was like,
I really like the green stripe of that.
Yes, this is
Claudia Hand Paint.
Claudia Hand Paint's Eat Your Vegetables,
Which I love vegetables.
and it's really, really cute. I have loved everything that I've knit up from Claudia Hand Paints, as far as like how the colors play in socks. I had this really strange, super bright tropical one, and it just blended and looked really good in the sock. I had a like a foresty cut, like Walk in the Woods, I think was the name of the colorway. It was so pretty.
You didn't have any pooling or weird.
No, it's very, and it was this way in my gauge as well. I mean, it just seemed like it was magical. So I would highly recommend giving them a shot. I think, well, the base on the ones that I bought said that it was a Luet Gems base. They might have changed bases since then, but my bands on the ones that I bought said that. Let's see. FO. That's about it for FOs. I got a hoe. I got a Saloma slipper. I redid them smaller, and then my gauge changed again, so these are too small. Like, you could try them on for me. Like, I could barely get them on
Who were
myself.
they for?
My mom.
Did she have similar size feet as me?
She's smaller than me, but I don't think they're quite as small as yours. So they fit, but it looked like you had a little effort to get them.
But I prefer that than falling off my foot.
This is true.
So I like it when there's a little bit of.
Basically, I'm gonna finish them because it's not worth it to rip. I don't know.
Yep.
Somebody will wear them. It's not a problem. So I'm just going to finish up a pair, have my mom try them on, and if they don't work for her, somebody in my life, like my Aunt Becky, maybe. She's got a significantly smaller foot.
Do you have a daughter?
This is true. Her feet are so much smaller, I don't think that these would fit her for a while. So I'd rather have somebody use them now.
Yep. I'm with you. I have a hoe as well.
Okay.
Oh, I should have brought my my sock blocker to show it off. But these are for the winner of our, not the winner, a winner of our birthday kit tickets. And Julia, this is the Hellfire. It fits, it's a little tight on Amy's foot, which I think we figured out was in between yours and mine. But if you have higher arches, that's the tighter piece. And yeah, they could become mine, and I can re-knit you something, because they fit my, this is kind of like the traveling sweater books. This skip traveling rib, the traveling skip rib.
Okay.
It fits everyone. Like, before I turned the heel, I put it on my foot and it fits. I put it on your foot and it fits. And I put it on my husband's foot, who I regularly do like 72 stitches, and it fits. I mean, the ribbing, it's just such a stretchy pattern. I can't recommend it enough. It's by Adrienne Koo. And you do the skip that you do like in the normal skip, but you do it in a rib, and I don't know if that adds the stretchiness, but it's really cushy. And this is the Hellfire colorway, as I said, on Vesper. The only thing I don't like is on the black, you can't really see the skip parts, which that's just black, and it looks insanely skinny, insanely skinny, because it shrinks back in on itself. But I've been trying it on over the top of my sock, going, well, that's not like an inch difference, but it's still good, right? So it's going to be a snug fit, Julia, but I'll send them to you, and if they don't work, so I instinctively put it on my foot, and then I immediately cast on the second. I religiously do so, because I don't want to not get it on and just have one sock. So, and I went to town on that one. Zoom zoom. I was avoiding sleeves. I'm not acknowledging you. You don't acknowledge me when I make silly things, so I'm just gonna keep talking. So there's a hoe. Are you done with the finished portion of our?
Yeah, absolutely.
I cast on and finished a Crushing It hat. This is out of my first skein of fancy yarn, and I told Corey and Josh that yesterday. They're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, no, seriously. Like, before I bought this yarn, I was buying acrylic at Joann's and Walmart. Like, this was my first merino. It was sheep feet from Sheep Shop. They no longer make it anymore. And yeah, it was this in a bunch of colors. I've made some knucks out of it. I've made this. I've made some socks that I've since frogged, and I've made your confetti. Cool. So I think I bought 4 different colorways of the same base. But I made it super big, so I did the big size, because this is a sport weight yarn. So I went up the stitch count. I added an extra repeat, and I added some
So you
rim
did the
length.
slouchy version,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes. Slouchy version, extra long, like brim, and because I've just been digging the slouchy hats lately. I don't know why. Normally I like a kind of tightly fit hat. Like, I like it to be snug on my head, but I think maybe I've become more self-conscious about my hair or something now that it's longer. I like it slouchy. It's stylish, yo. Where did I put the slipped?
In the back.
Okay, so you can't see it, but.
No, I was just looking to see, because it doesn't look like it's a whole lot bigger down here, but you definitely have the extra repeat in the top.
And it does the pattern is really nice, because this is a crazy, be seen from space, super variegated colorway. And I feel like with just 2 colors in a colorway, it's more apt to like really pool and really streak and stripe. And it, as you can see, the pattern broke it up. The increases and decreases and slipping, and I don't see a lot of crazy going on, other than that the hat is cool and crazy in and of itself. I think I might actually run in this hat. Like, people will see me coming.
Yeah, it's bright.
And then I finished my Measure in Love. This is the long version of the cowl. It will really stretch. I didn't overly block it, but it's because I never do. I could probably just like make a sweeping statement and say I never overly block anything. But this is out of the Showcase in the industrial colorway from Leading Man Fiber Arts.
And how much of that did you use? Every last smidge?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
This was just the number of repeats that it calls for in the pattern. And so you can wear it like that doubled, or you can wear it just as a long kind of infinity scarf. I think it's definitely, because it's fingering held double, it's definitely not the 400 yards.
Okay.
So it's less than 400 yards, and I'm going to weigh it and do yardage.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I am going to be knitting an infinity cowl for myself with a single ply held double, and then I'm going to be knitting an infinity cowl for somebody who won our prize, and it's probably going to be a similar size. So I was just really curious.
Yep. No, I think it'll be. I think it's like 300 yards, maybe 200. You know, somewhere in there. It's less than 400, but more than 200.
Okay.
It's more than half of the ball, but the Showcase base is pretty generous too. It's like 450 yards, I think, per skein.
And this was held double?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it really smushy, and the garter makes it really smushy. So the smush factor is high with this one. You can't tell at home, but it's uber swishy. And again, this will be in that same with my with the hat when it gets released. The test knitters are making good progress. I have another new test knitter that recently cast on, and those are my finished objects. I have a hoe, a hat, and the cowl.
Wow.
I've been accessorizing.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm an accessorizing fool.
And we have all of our Nanny Swimo going on, so
Yes.
all of that still has to make progress.
I have,
too.
yeah. I've been working on all of that stuff to avoid the sleeves, to be honest with you, because I have 2 sweaters sitting there going, I need sleeves. Give me sleeves. And then I get overwhelmed because it's 4 sleeves sitting there needing to be done. And I don't know, there's not a huge difference between this sleeve that has 63 stitches on it and that sock that has, you know, whatever it has on it.
Right.
64.
But it's different.
It is different.
Gets to have some.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. No new progress on the Vivid.
You didn't do your square week?
No, I started the red one. It's in here. It's barely, but you know. So, yeah. All of my attention was on the sweater and socks, and then right recently, like within the last 2 days, I cast this on.
Which is really pretty.
So, let's go through them one at a time. You saw the Salomas, and I'm putting some effort into getting that second one done. I want it done by the time I visit my mom, so we can figure out if they fit or not.
Yeah, well, and I was trying that on over my sock, too.
Yeah.
So it might go on a little easier.
It's true.
But you think her foot's a little bigger than mine, so.
Yeah, and again, I think that her feet are smaller than mine, and so I put it on my foot, but it was like, I don't know, uncomfortable. I'm not sure I would have worn them as a happy...
Like Cinderella slippers.
Yes, exactly. Like,
I'm gonna make it fit. I'm gonna make it fit.
Shave my toes off and maybe it'll fit. Then this is Megan's hat for
we got cross hat
Melissa.
promotion love going on here.
So this is the arrow, but again, this is the hand spun the rooster colorway, and I'm sure it'll show up better in person than it will on camera.
Even just back here, like when you held it up like that, I was like, I see it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you're just too close to it. You can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah, I think that once I get that first full repeat, I'll really be able to see it. and it took a while for these lines to pop out of the ribbing at the bottom too in hand spun.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, I really
So
like
pretty.
this colorway. It's turning out. I mean, it's exactly what I was hoping it would do. Knit up. I mean, it's not doing too much striping. It's just kind of blending in, but it's still, you know, it's got that hand spun little bit of like, oh yep, I can see the layers of color building in it. But yeah,
and it looks really good with the garden.
Yeah, there's just enough blue everywhere in it to make it feel like it's all homogeneous and
it's part of one collection.
Yeah. So I really enjoy this this yarn that I spun up.
As well you should. You made it, yo.
I made it, yo. But yeah, I haven't knit too much with my hand spun, and a few times that I have, I really enjoy the hats, the thicker ones, but my thinner yarns I haven't as appreciated as much. I do have some wound up for a shawl. I might not get to it until next year, but definitely want to knit with more hand spun. So there's that. And then mega process on the Swimo. So this is about 4 inches shy of onto the sleeve. Yeah. So
I like that color.
So yeah, once we get the sleeves, this is just Cascade 220 of the 900 colorway. That's a nice charcoal gray.
So pretty. I love it.
Yeah. And then this is the Bedford. And again, it's memorized already. The only debate in my mind is when I start the sleeves, am I really gonna knit that in reverse stockinette? It's all purling.
No, I didn't. I turned it inside out.
Yeah. So my idea is that, okay, I gotta flip the script in my mind. What I want to do is knit it in the round and flip it, but I want to make sure that, yeah, for the cuff, I have to start flipping it at the very beginning.
The sleeves top down? I can't remember if I hacked that one or not.
I thought they were cuff up, but you know what? I haven't read the pattern very closely because I got 4 more inches to go.
Because what I remember doing is getting it where I was purling and then just flipping it inside out.
Okay.
So that would imply that I knit them from the top down.
Yes, you hacked the whole sweater.
Did I?
Did you?
The Bedford? I think I did it bottom up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
So
I did.
then you must have hacked the sleeves then. Okay.
Must have. Instead of doing them bottom up and then joining, I think maybe I cast on the stitches and then worked them from the top down. But anyway, not to make your sweater about me. I'm just saying I didn't knit them in reverse stockinette.
Right. My only concern is the reverse stockinette does continue on up into the arm where you would actually have to be purling it to keep it. So like your gauge would change from one to the other. So I just have to be very conscious of that as I'm knitting along on the sleeves. And it might not be worth worrying about, but it is something that I thought about while I was like, do I want to do all that purling?
That stuff will block right out.
Yeah, like that. So yeah, making progress, and I want to get more. So this is about
focus.
Almost 2 balls of yarn, and so if I can get this other ball of yarn done, I will be ready for some sleeves.
Some sleeves. And that's your whips?
Active whips, yeah.
Active whips. Okay. I am currently working on my flax by Tin Knits for my husband, for Nanny Swimo. When I got to the bottom of the main body, I had 38,768 stitches, to be exact, in my spreadsheet. I counted the garter rows, and I know how many. There was no increasing or decreasing on the body of the sweater. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the end of my little break here. And so I have thusly put, because there's garter ridges on the sleeve as well, my little doohickeys, I don't know why I call them that. What is the correct word? Locking stitch marker on the where I started, and that's the progress that I've made today, where I told myself I should and must work on the sleeves.
Okay.
I finished your hat in a day, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna, I should get that sweater done. Should. And then I can work on my sweater, which I'm super excited to knit on. But, yep, he tried it on. Again. It fits, it's long enough. He was kind of worried when he was trying it on, still on the needles, that it was a little tight through the shoulders. But that is no longer a concern.
Good.
It's superwash, Dreamin' Color Classy, so it's going to stretch a little bit, get a little longer in the gray tabby colorway. I noticed, and it's probably uber noticeable on camera, because the camera picks up all of the color changes the best. It's a little, what was it? Either darker or lighter, I was noticing.
This looks a little lighter.
Yeah.
But again, it's very
throughout.
Yeah, to me
it's almost like camo.
Yeah.
Right? Like it gets light and dark unpredictably. But yeah, hopefully gonna have that done for the National Knit a Sweater in a month and have my 50,000 stitches. And then the only other thing that I have on the needles currently is that sock, the toe I already showed you. Super interesting whips. I guess I can't say that that's the only thing I have on the needles. I also have my turnstone, which I have not looked at or picked up or done anything with in a very long time. So
my my husband is still very doubtful that this will be done in November. But to me it was like, no, but it'll be like significantly done, right?
So were you like Barney? Were you like, challenge accepted?
I would say that, but there's a lot of stuff going on between here and there, so hopefully it doesn't fall down completely. I mean,
yes,
some days you just don't feel like knitting.
I hear you.
But yeah, lots of car traveling with the holiday coming up, and events.
So it's worsted weight
this
right?
weekend, and worsted weight. And I just think that once I get this body done, I'm gonna do the sleeves 2 at a time, and we're gonna rock it out. Rock it out.
All right, we have some enabling that we wanted to talk about, and we are quickly filling up our time today with jibber jabber and and Minnesoder and whatnot. Do you want me to dive in, or do you want to dive in?
We can do this
simultaneous diving in.
We had a very generous viewer / winner of a prize contact us. She's a dyer, so Adventures in Yarncraft, and contacted us, and we get to keep these for ourselves, but there's a second one of this that will be a prize in the self-striping KAL.
It's BFL.
Yes, they're both BFL.
In the Kingfisher colorway. And it's BFL and 25% nylon. So this stuff's gonna wear like iron. I can just feel it.
And then mine's Nebula.
So pretty.
Yes.
In real life, yo, that is so pretty. Not that the picture wasn't good, but it's so pretty in real life.
Yeah, the picture didn't quite do it justice.
Well, and no picture really can.
No.
For yarn, if it's, So this is Adventures in Yarncraft. Did you already say that?
Yep.
You did. Okay. And that's Adventures in Yarncraft at Etsy. Yep. And I'll link you lure, but yep.
Yeah, and I believe that all the prices seemed very comparable to like Leaning Man Fiber Arts and Marigold Jen and other people that we've mentioned on the podcast. So go check her out. Yeah, I really like mine. Thank you very much.
I do too. It's fantastic. I can't wait to be knitting them. And then I think we're going to give the one she sent for you away as a self-striping prize.
Yes. Yep.
Gotta love the self-stripers.
And then I don't know that I can enable you with these, but we had another person contact us and wanted to send us a little thank you. It was Caterpillar Design. Yay. How cute.
It's our little zombie dude.
So yeah, it's our little logo.
and stitch marker. Amy Instagrammed it, and I was like, ah! She said some for me too, because I'm stealing some of yours. Ah, love them.
So they are so, so adorable.
Yes, and she does all kinds of these. She's super crafty.
Oh, you know what? And I think I forgot to mention it. I think we have a coupon code for, so I don't want to speak out of turn. There may be a coupon code coming when we give away the yarn.
Okay.
There'll be a coupon code that's attached to that giveaway. But still go check out our shop. Very reasonable prices, and I'm not sure what's going to be there when the coupon code comes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so she can basically customize anything, Caterpillar.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, she had some. I think I was looking at some like Thanksgiving ones because I was in like I'm gonna celebrate Thanksgiving mood because it seems like a lot of people have moved on already to Christmas. So I was like something out there that's Thanksgiving-y.
So she has an Etsy shop, and I believe Mustache
carries
shop
as well.
Carries her stitch markers on their site as well.
Yep. So
those are two places that you can find her.
Love them so much.
Very cute.
Love them. Thank
Very,
you very
very
much. All right, and then I was a complete yarn piggy in a recent Leading Men Fiber Arts update. Slays me. Okay, so I got, I was looking to replace my dramaturg foliage, and I got some of that too, but you're not going to see it. It's pretty, just let me tell you. And this is Glacial in the Show Stealer base.
It's MCN then. Huh?
Yes, it's an MCN. And again, if you want to talk reasonable, it's a really reasonable MCN price. And it's really good yardage, 435 yards for 100 grams. And fingering weight. These colors slay me. Like, I love the greens and the aquas, but it's like in the transition areas where there's just kind of a darker overtone over some of the colors that are already in there that slays me. Glacial is so pretty. And then I think the next foliage from him is going to be Metamorphosis. And this is on the Showstopper base, which is again another one of his bases that I really like. Just the hand feel of it is nice. I like the other ones as well, don't get me wrong, but Showstopper has a really nice twist, and I think it'll make something just beautiful. But Metamorphosis has these beautiful springy greens and some browns and a pop of purple, and then kind of a gold in there as well. Metamorphosis. Go check it out.
They seem to be not one of a kind. Yeah, one of a kind. Like, yeah. But they're. It seems like hers is very light to like the one that I saw in the shop in the last update. Hers is
different bases
lighter.
Take color different.
Oh, that's
ways,
true. It could have been a different base.
Yep.
I need to pay attention.
Well, and so I didn't get any on the dramaturg base, but the dramaturg base seems to, the colors are a little, and I may be speaking out of turn, but a little darker. Like,
could be
bright, darker, moody overtones. So I think that, and this isn't the dramaturg base, this is the MCN base, but it's Glacial anyway. My mind was like, I have Glacial and dramaturg. It's converting it into dramaturg. Yarn replacement via mind. But yeah, go check it out. I think my dramaturg that's in Glacial is going to be another Measure in Love of some sort. Somebody in my family will love it. Cool. And the foliage, yeah, my son hijacked that one. Yeah, my other purchase is a big purchase. I've been wanting to get some Jill Draper Make stuff ever since Melanie went to Rhinebeck last year, not this past year, but the year before, and just said that Jill Draper was awesome. And she's got 100% U.S. made and dyed yarn. love the aesthetic, love her, I'll hold up her shop. She hand wrote a note that said, hopefully I enjoy the yarn as much as she enjoyed dyeing it, which is very cute. And it's jilldraper.com is her website, and I think that redirects you right to her shop. But this is Empire. It is in Peric. It's Aran weight, 1,280 yards, 1.7 pounds of 100% Rambouillet wool. And I posted on social media a picture of my daughter holding it up. I think it's still bigger than my head.
Oh yeah.
But on her, it just looks like it could swallow her. Like, you have become part of the Rambouillet skein. You have been assimilated. It's so springy and yet rustic.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are two qualities that I appreciate in it. I don't know if you had any comments on it, but it's big. It's not, the price tag might give you a little bit of a sticker shock. It's expensive, but this is a lot of wool. This is a sweater's, if not more, quantity for me.
Right. I
mean, Aran weight.
Yeah, Aran weight is kind of the key, because I remember what did I do? It's 770 grams, so I divided it by 7 and made it into 7 balls of yarn in my brain, and just went, no, that's a good price point for yardage of Aran weight yarn. So, and when you consider it's American sheep and mill, and then it's hand dyed, it's got a lot going for it.
Yes. And so, yeah, Amy, here, let's just put it between our heads. Jill Draper makes stuff, Stockinette Zombie Sandwich. This is the filler. But I've never worked with Rambo before, and I just see a sheep with a gun. Rambo. But it's going to be, and I'm going to see if my Stanwood Needlecraft ball winder can handle it. And then maybe take it as far as it'll go. I refuse. It hurts my soul to cut contiguous yarn.
Yes.
Like, oh, but that'll probably be a bad place in the garment or whatever. And so I'll probably just then take it off of the ball winder and then hand wind the rest of it around that center pole ball. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see how far it gets.
Well, the Stanwood says it's rated up to 10 ounces, and this is 27 ounces. So, yeah. Yeah, 1.7 pounds is 16 plus 7. Yep, 23. 23 ounces, not 27. But,
yep.
It smells good, too. Did you smell it? Does Rambouillet have a smell?
Not that I'm aware of. My one and only Rambouillet knitting experience was spinning it and then knitting it. So.
It's a pretty nice contiguous color too. It's a little tonal, but it's not like, so it won't look like it's
exactly.
Off the shelf. But
I agree with the springy rustic. Like, yeah, that's Rambouillet to a T. That's how I spun mine, very similar to this, nice tight twist. And I enjoyed knitting with it so much. I mean, like, I just remember when I was finally done going, I want more Ram. So I went and I bought more Rambouillet. Got a little nuts, but I haven't put it on the wheel. I think that I'm coveting or lusting after the winders. What's that called?
The Stanwood Needlecraft?
No, in
the woolly winders?
Woolly winders. That's
okay,
it.
I was
sorry. Like, brain just went completely gone.
Borrow my Stanwood if you need
it.
Get your fix.
The woolly winder for my wheel, and I can't decide if that's gonna make me go spinning crazy, and I have too many knitting projects right now, so it's kind of, my spinning is taking a hiatus for a few months. And I've heard a few people say that they really, they spin during the summer, and then it just kind of wanes during the winter, and then they spin during the summer again. So
knitting is kind of like a self-warming.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting as much exercise as spinning, but like if you have the big garment sitting on you, it's kind of a...
That's true.
Earlier, Amy was feeling my Rambo, and I don't just kind of inconspicuously was making it hers. She was trying to assimilate it into her. I was like, nope, that's mine.
I mean,
It's like
a
baby.
It is. It is like a baby. I mean, babies weigh more than a pound and 7 ounces. Very much so.
But it's got the mass, right?
Yes,
because it's
it
airy.
does.
Yeah.
It's got the right heft.
Yeah. But yeah. It's okay, baby.
Don't you want to knit it a sweater?
No. It's okay, Mama. So yes, we're jambling on. I don't know that we had anything else that we wanted to talk about as far as the retreat.
No.
There will be announcements come January, so there will be administrative stuff that needs to get done in January. But
till then, it's kind of slowly rolling.
We're still doing things behind the scenes, but there's nothing that you need to worry about.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.